So in the mornings when you wake up and you want to enjoy your wachi or whatever food, or even at parties, weddings, naming ceremonies, when they are sharing the food there, they normally come in these packs. What they call, is this styrofoam? I've never known that it's called styrofoam until 25th of May, when the EPA brought up a communication that they are banning the use of takeaway, our beloved takeaway, next year, 1st January 2027. And I want to pick the minds of these sustainability professionals on the communication from the Environmental Protection Authority. Normally, when you buy the food, it either comes in this pack, as you can see here, the written on it, healthy food pack, or it comes in this one. Derrick, if you can just open it for us to see what's inside there. So it's actually watching in a LIMS package. So in essence, if you compare the two, this is more sustainable, in your opinion.
Yeah, more sustainable
compared to this. Now, for the sake of my audience, let me start with Dr. Kusi. If you can just tell us a little bit about yourself and what came to your mind when you saw the communication from the EPA.
Okay. You mentioned Gloria, Boamah Kusi, the Senior Sustainability Officer at Jospon Green Transition Office. From where I am coming from, when I saw the directive, I thought, oh, this is a good thing. It should have been done like decades ago. So if government has decided to do this now, let's go for it.
Okay.
Fully fledged.
Right.
Not just in bits. Let's not wait for campaigns to talk us out of it.
Let's not wait for it to get cold.
No. Right now that government's mind is back on it, I think it is in the right direction.
So you think that even the 2027 is even too...
It's too far. But then it will allow us to adjust, because change needs us to do risk management. You can't bring in change without risk management. So there's a time that people are supposed to think about the options, the alternatives, because it supports livelihood. We know that. So it's good that we are starting next year.
Right. Derrick, who you are, and then when you first saw the news, I don't know where you saw it. Is it on TV, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram?
Okay, very much, Edward. So my name is Derrick Sarfo, co-founder CEO of the Paulbacks Packaging Limited. I am a sustainability advocate and a circular economy expert, and I have been doing this for the past 11 years. I've been doing this for the past 11 years. I was really excited to hear about this release from EPA. In fact, I saw the news on the 25th in the morning on LinkedIn.
That's actually the day
the day they released that. I saw it on LinkedIn. It was a press release that a friend of mine shared on his page. And I was really excited because since I got into sustainability for the past 11 years, myself, some few advocacy groups, and I think private, public organizations have been advocating against single-use plastics, which styrofoams are part of it. And so I was really excited. Now, the question I asked myself was, is it going to be what started some years back when the government showed interest to ban selling plastics? And then...
Like this one?
Yeah, the Filiate. And then with time, people lobbied against it. And those initiatives never happened. So that is what we are hoping, that by 2027, 1st January, as the date has been fixed, these policy come into full-fledged. And the implementation goes as smooth as possible.
Right.
So that's what we're hoping for.
Right. All right. So for the benefit of those who have not heard or seen the communication, let me just read a bit of it for you. On the 25th of May, the Environmental Protection Authority, I'm reading this from their X page, or formerly Twitter. It says, Environmental Protection Authority announces ban on polyester foam product effective 1st January 2027. It says, pursuant to this policy announcement, the Environmental Protection Authority wishes to inform the general public, manufacturers, importers, distributors, retailers, food vendors, hospitality operators, institutions, and all relevant stakeholders that the ban on the production, importation, distribution, sale, and use of polyester foam products, popularly known as styrofoam or takeaway packs, in Ghana shall become effective 1st January 27th. So the ban is happening on the 1st of January 27. The ban will apply to all forms of expanded polystyrene foam products used for human activities and commercial purposes, including but not limited to food packaging and any other form of packaging. Now, you are a sustainability professional. You have studied it all the way to the doctoral level. You do a lot of research in it, expands all the way to climate change. Now, what does this mean for you in your area of work when it comes to climate change, environmental protection, and all of that?
Okay, so to start with, the actual name is EPS, as you mentioned, expanded polystyrene. And I think the debate always boils down to two. There are two groups of people. We have those who are making argument that the entire EPS stream, single-use plastics, should be banned. And there are those who are also saying just the food should be banned.
So only this one?
Only the ones for the food, food and the beverage. Because the ones for the industry has a lot of benefits, but and they don't see the consequence when it comes because it doesn't contain food. It's not primary. So it's helping the industry like the medicines, vaccines, exportation, and then maybe appliances. So it is good. So attention is not there. That's the camp one.
Right.
But where there is attention is the camp two that are advocating the food because it has a lot of health implications. Right. So I would take it from three. We have the 3 stages. So it has dire consequences on the entire value chain.
Okay.
The first one is the creation or production.
Okay.
And then consumption stage. And then the disposal stage.
Okay.
So when we come to the first stage, that is the creation, it has toll on the workers. Sustainability. So I'm very conscious about the social pillar.
Okay.
The toll on the workers, the factory hand. Most of the time we talk about banning this because of the flats, because of what we are seeing, the statics. But then what about
that? It make the place nice, as you can see.
Yes, we can
all
see
over
from
this
here.
place.
That is why a lot of campaigns are going. But what about those who are producing? Those who are facing the immediate and intense consequences, the chemicals that they are inhaling, the vapor, and then the styrene itself that is going to their skin. We have neurotoxic risk. We have carcinogenic risk. It affects their respiratory system. So we have not really paid much attention, even from the first stage.
We're only focusing on the consumption.
Exactly. But we have to look at the entire value chain. Then we can really attach the significance of this. When we come to the middle, which is the consumer, of course, people don't know that when it contains soup or fatty oils or even the hot stuff, there is toxic leachate. So it leach, my friend, no. For it can harm hormones. It causes a lot of problems with our hormones. So there is the leachate that the public do not know. You might just be thinking about the cheap. The cost is very affordable. Yes, people are making livelihood, but you will pay heavily because there is that leachate I'm talking about. And then also the disposal. So that is where I also come in, waste management. You might think, yes, this one is there, but after some time, it might disappear, but it hasn't really disappeared because it fragments. After some time, this thing will begin to break down, disintegrate into very tiny pieces. Those tiny pieces harm the marine. It harms even birds. You see birds because eating them and it affects
biodiversity.
Exactly. Wildlife, it harms them. And even in the waste management, when you think of incineration, burning them, it releases dioxins and then what's it called? Fluorine or furan. So it's not even good when we burn it. So the waste management, I think there should be EPR, extended producer responsibility.
What about recycling?
Recycling. This is lightweight. So at the moment, theoretically, they are saying that the industrial ones can be recycled. But this is not biodegradable. It's not able to be recycled. And then the burning too releases a lot of. So banning, yes, a lot of air pollution. So now, I think it should be banned.
Wow, that's I've been educated. Derrick, now you are into sustainable packaging. And this news, if I would say, is going to boom your industry in a way. So what is your take on it? What do you think should be the alternative to banning this? Because look, the fact that they've banned this doesn't mean that we shouldn't be packaging things again. What do you think we should do differently when it comes to packaging of food and other things?
So I want to bring in some bit of numbers, right?
Right.
From business point of view. Now, Accra is roughly 5 million people, right? And on average, either you eat breakfast, lunch, supper, and you're going to have your meal packaged in styrofoam packs.
Right.
Right. Often if you buy outside
So,
your house. Now, if you do the numbers, we are consuming about 6 billion single plastics, single-use
Accra
plastics
alone.
in Accra alone every year. You know, because when you buy, like for this watch, it contains about 4 different plastics. So the styrofoam pack itself, the cutlery, the wraps, and then the
Even this
poly
one.
bag that it comes with. All these are single use. That means once you are done using them, it goes straight into the bin, right? And then per data, we are only recycling at this moment just about 10% of the plastic waste that goes into the environment, right? And then these kind of plastics are not even suitable for recyclers to recycle them because they don't see any value in them, right? So, I mean, you could say business, it's good for sustainable industry or the sustainable packaging industry,
Right.
but you have to look at it from the health points and an environmental degradation point view, because it causes a lot of damage to the environment, costs the government a lot of money to deal with this kind of waste annually. In fact, the data says African government has spent almost about 13 billion USD on plastic waste pollution and waste management in general annually. That's money that can go into agriculture, that can go into infrastructure or other critical.
Right. Let
sectors
me
of our environment.
follow up quickly on this point. Now, if you look at other African countries, I have been to Rwanda and I've seen it firsthand. Right at the airport, they don't allow people to bring plastic into the country. They have actually taken a bold step to ban single-use plastics. And do you think that we are ready for that as a country?
So the ban, sort of, it's the first step, right? Now, it's in the news. The government, the EPA, want to sort of limit or sort of ban importation, the production or the distribution of styrofoam packs, right? But that is the first step. The next step is to build local capacity, because what is going to happen if the implementation comes into force from 1st January is that you're going to have a lot of flock of alternative packaging, which is fine, biodegradable, into the country if local content is not available.
dollar or should have.
And then that is going to affect our city.
Yes.
Why? Because we will require a lot of dollars to go and import these alternatives from maybe China or India or elsewhere into the country to flood our market.
Right.
So the implementation, the ban is the right thing in the right direction. The implementation or the enforcement of it should be followed as well, because we have been in this country. We have seen governments come and go with interests to ban certain plastics, but it never suffices. So now that the government have expressed that they want to ban styrofoam packs by 2027, they should follow that with force implementation, right? And then implement that, but also build local capacity so that we don't have influx of alternatives coming from elsewhere.
So
into our country.
companies like yours who are into sustainable packaging, maybe if they are investors, they would.
Yeah. So
You help it.
I speak to myself, but I speak to the entire
industry.
sustainable packaging industry as a whole, right? I know the government has given about 7 months for industries sort of make a
adjust.
switch, transition from unsustainable to more sustainable packaging for food, right? So yes, but as you do that, also ensure that the environment, the business environment, is conducive for businesses to make those switch.
All right.
Right.
But it's going to be costly though. Like when you look at sustainable packaging, it's costly.
Yeah.
It's
So
more.
that is what the average Ghanaian will say. But you see, you look at long term, it costs sometimes the initial cost is what we see as cost. But on the long run, it saves a lot of money for the government, right? Because if you are using biodegradable or a more sustainable alternatives, you will not spend so much money
Right.
in recycling, right, in dealing with waste. Because if it's biodegradable, obviously if people throw it away, it's going to degrade
Right.
and back into the environment.
No, thank you. Now, Dr. Kusi, let me come to you. Before we even started this conversation, we talked about attitude, behavior. What do you think we have to play as the role of citizens in implementing this thing? Even if it is not implemented, what can we do as a country to ensure that every Ghanaian has sustainability at the back of their mind, such that in everything they do, they think about the implication on the environment and how we can sustain it for the generations to come. Some countries, for instance, if you are going to buy food, you go with your own pack, your own plate, you put it for you, and then you come. It's normal for them. Here, people going to the food joint with their own bowl is more or less like it's work for them.
Yeah.
What do
to
you
the
do
extent
with
that they even ask the vendor to give, sometimes they quarrel with the vendors. Give me polybags, give me, because I think majority of us do not know. Growing up, going to the market, you will go with a basket. I mean, you go and buy things with your own stuff. But now I think convenience and then changing taste. People want to, not carry things. Soft life, let me say for those the Gen Zs or whatever they call it, exactly. But it has sustainability is something that is not entirely new. Before we were using glass. Before there was a lot of paper packaging. I saw Ombo in paper packaging, but now because industries want to make more profit, so the attitude has changed because things are also changing now. People want better life, so we need deliberate sensitization where we can correlate the health impacts to our attitude now.
Right.
And then we also need sort of like measures that people who flout the laws would have to face, penalties. Maybe fine them, and I don't like it when people put videos of flood on social media, but they see heaps in their neighborhood and they are okay with it. They don't talk about it. So like what we are doing now, let's do more of sensitization. So the one selling wache by your favorite wache by the roadside knows the consequence of wache hot stuff in this. And when they know for themselves, they'll not even do it.
And when we were growing up, and when I was coming, I'm sure you're older than I am, there's this book called Courtesy for Boys and Girls. Such that even at a very young age, you are being taught how to do things right. Do you think even in our educational system, our religious bodies, churches, mosques, all of these institutions should have a way?
It has to be deliberate. And we shouldn't leave it for the government alone. No. I remember when we were about to switch the Ghana CD, the advert was so much massive. So that, yes, even now I remember the song.
The song.
Exactly. So we need to be deliberate about it. The governments, the private, the churches, religious bodies, the chiefs, everybody. And they can only do this when they recognize and acknowledge the impact on the health.
Right.
Impact on the health. That is when people can really talk about it. NCCA, there should be a lot of education.
All right. We are almost getting to the end of the conversation. We are talking about the ban on styrofoam, or what we call takeaway, as a packaging alternative for Ghanaians. And I've been joined by Derrick and then Dr. Kusi. All right. So, Derrick, you are into sustainable packaging.
Yeah.
In essence, the package that you have is not going to harm the environment.
Yeah.
It is something that is more durable. You are the best person to tell us about it. You have one sample here. You can tell us about the others as well. Okay. And the name of the company. All right.
So our company name is the Cobalt Packaging Limited. The other company which channel this code is called Specifica. Yeah. Specs stand for Smart Pack Exchange Based Spec. So sustainable packaging is basically any form of packaging that uses material that doesn't really have harm or doesn't cause harm for the environment and the people. So
if you can speak louder for me.
What I'm saying is sustainable packaging sort of emphasize on packaging that doesn't really use materials that causes harm to the environment and people. The doctor has talked about health. So for us as a business, we ensure that whatever material we are using in packaging for businesses or for our customers or consumers has to be beneficial for one, the environment, and then for their health, right?
Yeah.
And then should be sort of sustained for a very long time without going into damage or into the environment, or the environment.
The ability to be reused.
Reuse.
Yeah.
So there are 3 levels that we are addressing this as a company.
Okay.
One, with the enforcement of this coming in 1st June, there will be
1st January.
1st January, there will be a huge demand for alternatives. So the low-hanging fruit will be, say, paper. So a lot of people will be switching to paper. So craft bowls.
So watching paper.
Bags, not watching, but there are craft bowls that are made with paper
Okay.
that can sustain liquid-based food and solid-based food.
Okay. Do you do some of those?
Yeah, we do that as well.
Okay.
So that is an immediate solution that will come into the market, right? But again, there will be a need for recycling more of that because paper can be recycled and put back into the loop for reuse.
Okay.
So of course, once there is more demand for paper alternatives instead of styrofoam, there will be a need for investment in recycling of paper materials or products back into the loop so that we don't constantly rely on new resources for paper products.
Right.
The next phase will be reuse, which specs is part of it.
Okay. So
So
you can just have a look at how it's like.
yeah,
So this one you can reuse it.
yeah, you can reuse it. So it's made with stainless steel food grade.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you are going to buy your food, just take your specs.
So you can now
So you can keep it warm.
keep it warm for almost about 3 hours.
Okay.
Now you can get this purchase, but it's a service. It's a packaging as a service. So we don't. The idea is not to sell it, although you can get it.
to be sold to you as well.
Yeah, you can buy it, but just like you can buy any reusable pack from the market.
Yeah.
But what makes specs distinct from just buying a reusable pack is the fact that it works with a meal ordering platform.
Okay.
So we have a platform which corporates can sign up on, bring their team on, bring their vendors on. If you don't have a food vendor, we can assign a vendor to them after going through vetting. And then your staff can order the meal they need for the week just by one sitting.
Yeah.
And then the vendor will deliver the food in these packs. But what happens is that we give you 2 packs. So one is with your vendor at all time and one is with your staff. So anytime the food is delivered, they pick the empty pack.
Then give me this one.
And then, so that the next day they can return with the food in a new pack.
Then we solve the whole issue of single use.
Because
dispose.
roughly, see, when you buy a food on the street and it's in styrofoam packs, you are not just consuming one single use plastic. You are consuming about 4 of them.
4.
The cutlery, the
pack,
itself,
the rubber,
and then the rubber.
and even
Which
this
all
one.
goes into waste and pollute the environment.
Right.
Unlike reuse, you can reuse them several times. So for instance, with specs, our bowls can be used almost about 3 years. 300 time cycles before it goes into recycled.
Oh, okay.
So
No
they
health
are
consequence.
Yes, they have benefit. So I'm not really talking about specs, but when we switch to reuse, which I know for Ghana it will take a bit of a time, immediately there will be more switch to paper and more biodegradable alternatives that are already
So
available.
the
on the
longer
market.
term is the
The
reuse
longer term
option.
is reuse options because it
Okay.
saves you cost and it saves you time.
Right. Thank you
That
very
is
much.
a key benefit of
Right.
reuse. Yeah.
Now, the final words from Dr. Kusi. Now, this has come to help in reaching some of your KPIs when it comes to sustainability. I'm very sure. What do you have your final words to everybody that is listening to you right now with regards to this topic?
Okay, so we commend the government for this step. It's a very in
They have
time.
done well.
Yes, they've done well.
EPA,
President
they've done well.
Boamah, government, EPA. We thank you so much. But I believe more education is needed because we need just transition. The transition has to be gradual because we are also conscious about the people, livelihoods, the economy,
Jobs.
I mean, so the transition should be just, and then there should be measures to penalize those who flout it. That is the only way. At a point, some people would actually appreciate it when they know about the fact that if you can't go scot-free when you flout.
Right.
And then at this point where now carbon emissions, greenhouse gas emission is becoming more prime. I mean, climate consequences, we see the floods and all of that. We are supposed to cut our emissions. And this switch will also help us to cut our emissions, even as a country. We reduce our footprints.
Right.
So we thank the government for
All
this.
right. Derrick.
Yeah, and I also want to commend the government and EPA as a body, as an authority for implementing this. My hope and prayer is that they enforce it. And like Doc said, penalize people who flaunt this initiative. I will encourage corporates because see, some of these stuff, the change happens in closed environments. One thing we realized with Specs is that when we launched Specs, we went B2C routes. So we were dealing with restaurants already. The challenge was you have individuals who will buy the food from a restaurant, receive the pack, and keep it because it's durable
cute.
and it's cute. When we switched to B2B, corporates needed that because it adds up to their ESG scores.
It makes you a sustainable company.
Yes, good. And then their sustainability report at the end of the year sounds great.
And that's what makes Dr. Kusi
Yeah.
happy.
So this implementation, right? They will be the great people if you lead a division in your firm, or you have decision power in a corporate space. Take it upon yourself. You can initiate that. No single use, especially styrofoam pack,
Yeah.
In
into
the office.
right? Because people often will pick up wache or cocoa and then come to the office with it. No, but then you also want to make infrastructure available for them. So you can get reusable for them, right? I mean, you can share the cost with the staff or decide to take it upon yourself. In fact, the thing about lunch that we realized based on our research is that consumers, staff, spend more hours searching for food when food are not delivered to their offices. When there's a small cafeteria and food is delivered to their offices, they save time and they focus on their work. So as an HR or as admin or as a leader of the corporate, you can sort of incentivize your staff by sort of getting them lunch, but also using that to get them conscious about reuse and more sustainable alternative packaging instead of they bringing food into the office with single-use plastics. So that is where the change should start.
All right. All right. Thank you very much. So we are hoping that with this step that has been taken, we'll move on to other forms of burning as well. the polythene.
Entire stream,
I know
single use.
it's going to take time, but
It's to take time.
gradually
The
it will
entire
happen.
single
You
use
know,
stream.
Oliver Twist always ask for more.
Yeah.
Yes. So that has been a conversation with Dr. Kusi and then Derrick on the ban of single-use styrofoam, which is popularly known as takeaway, as you can see right here.
Expanded.
And so this brings us to the end of the conversation on styrofoam or the use of takeaways being banned effective 1st January 2027. My name is Edward Asare, and I'll be here with
Dr. Gloria Boamah.
and
Derrick Sarfo.
all right. Thank you.
Thank you.